and our invocation is Commissioner Hester.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas,
One state under God, one and indivisible. Will you pray with me? Our most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day and for each blessings that you've given us. Lord, we ask that you be with our fallen brothers and sisters and their families. Lord, I pray especially for our Dallas Police Department brothers and sisters and those that are left behind. Give them strength and comfort and guidance. Lord, we pray for our country. We ask that your holiness and goodness work throughout our nation. Please be with us today as we make decisions, and may they be pleasing to you. Forgive us where we fail you, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Left, place, forward, mark.
You may be seated. Members of the Honor Guard are Lieutenant Tommy Bouchak, Sergeant Jeff Hooten, Sergeant Ray Gibbons, Corporal Cody Weaver, Deputy Jake Claxton, Deputy Richard Beals. Let's give them our hand. Ms. Wilson, will you call roll?
Commissioner Joel Richardson.
Here.
Commissioner Pat Shekel-Hollingsworth.
Here.
Commissioner Jason Hester.
Here.
Commissioner Patricia Burris.
Here.
Commissioner Ron Hood.
Here.
Commissioner Rob Piper.
Here.
Commissioner James Oakley.
Here.
Commissioner Joe Pennington.
Here.
Commissioner Ruben Viescas.
Here.
All are present.
Thank you. You do a gosh darn good job of that. Thank you so much. Well, I do want to welcome everybody here today. Thank you for coming for such a short agenda. We've got a good crowd today. I appreciate you coming. A couple of special guests that I want to introduce right now. We're honored today to have Representative John Rainey. Would you stand, please? And he represents House District 14, which is Brazos County and College Station area. and he serves on the House Appropriations Committee. We're very happy to have you here today. Thank you for being here. I wanted to introduce him as Elizabeth Rainey's husband, but I didn't. We also have Chief Robert Moore here today. Would you stand, Robert? Robert is the presiding officer, my counterpart at the Texas Commission on Fire Protection. First time I think anybody from that commission has been here, and we welcome you. Thank you so much. He's been 20 years at Texas A&M Extension Service Emergency Services Training Institute. So, Chief, welcome. Thank you for being here. Because of all the active shooter training that we're doing, we're beginning to incorporate fire EMS into those training, not just training law enforcement, but working on, we do a good job of stopping the shooter. We don't do a good job of stopping the dying right now. And so we're working closely with fire and EMS to improve the way that we react to those. So thank you for being here today, Chief. I want to announce the 2017 meeting dates of the commission. They are March 2nd, June 8th, September 7th, and December 7th. And as far as I know, they'll all be here. Okay. All right. Thank you. We will move to agenda item number 2, which is reading of peace officer jailer deaths since the June 23rd, 2016 meeting. Mr. Mobley.
Thank you, sir. Sheriff Richardson, Commissioners, I will be reading you this morning the names of 11 men and women of Texas law enforcement who have lost their lives since we last met. Police Officer Calvin Mark McCullers, 45 years of age, Southern Methodist University Police Department. End of watch Tuesday, July 5th, 2016. Police Officer Mark McCullers drowned when his vehicle was washed away in a torrential rain while he was working an assignment at a construction site in Highland Park. The construction site was near the banks of Turtle Creek. A severe thunderstorm had caused the water in the creek to rise suddenly and rush down the adjacent roadway. Officer McCullers radioed for assistance when the wall of water struck his car and began to wash it away. He attempted to exit the vehicle and reach safety, but was also caught in the floodwaters and was presumed drowned. On August 24th, 2016, other members of the SMU Police Department located Officer McCullers' body along the banks of the Trinity River, some 3 miles from where his vehicle was swept away. Officer McCullers was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and served with the SMU Police Department for 17 months. He is survived by his wife and 6 children. Senior Corporal Lauren Bradley Aarons, 48 years of age, Dallas Police Department, end of watch Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Corporal Aarons had served with the Dallas Police Department for 14 years and had previously served with the Los Angeles County, California Sheriff's Office for 11 years. He is survived by his wife and 2 children, and his wife also serves with the Dallas Police Department. Sergeant Michael Joseph Smith, 55, Dallas Police Department, end of watch Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Sergeant Smith was a U.S. Army veteran and had served with the Dallas Police Department for 27 years. He is survived by his wife and 2 daughters. Police Officer Michael Leslie Kroll, age 40, Dallas Police Department, end of watch Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Officer Kroll had served with the Dallas Police Department for 9 years and had previously served with the Wayne County, Michigan Sheriff's Office for 4 years. Police Officer Patricio Patrick E. Zamaripa, age 32, Dallas Police Department, end of watch Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Officer Zamaripa was a U.S. Navy veteran and had served with the Dallas Police Department for 6 years. He is survived by his wife, 2-year-old daughter, and stepson. Police Officer Brent Allen Thompson, age 43, Dallas Area Rapid Transit Police Department, end of watch Thursday, July 7th, 2016. Officer Thompson was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and has served with the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Police for 9 years. He is survived by his wife, 6 children, 1 granddaughter, and 3 grandchildren. His wife also serves as an officer with the Dart Police. Police Officer Patrick Zamaripa, Senior Corporal Lauren Aarons, Police Officer Michael Kroll, Sergeant Michael Smith of the Dallas Police Department, and Police Officer Brent Thompson of the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Police were shot and killed by an active shooter during a protest in downtown Dallas. As the protesters walked down the main street between South Lamar and South Market Street, a sniper opened fire on police officers who were providing security for the event. The man shot a total of 12 officers, killing 5 and wounding 7. The subject was cornered in an adjacent parking garage and barricaded himself inside for several hours while he spoke to negotiators. He was killed when the Dallas Police Department's bomb squad moved an explosive device to the man's location using a robot and detonated it. Police Officer Marco Antonio Zarate, age 52, Bel Air Police Department, end of watch Tuesday, July 12, 2016. Police Officer Marco Zarate was killed in a motorcycle crash while pursuing a vehicle that had been involved in an earlier shoplifting. He was responding to a shoplifting call at approximately 1:30 p.m. and attempted to stop the vehicle in the parking lot. The vehicle fled from the parking lot with Officer Zarate in pursuit. Officer Zarate's motorcycle struck a landscaping trailer as he pursued down Ferris Street. The vehicle he was pursuing continued to flee, but was eventually taken into custody. Officer Zarate was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and has served with the Bel Air Police Department for 7 years. He is survived by his wife and 3 daughters. Corrections Officer Mary Johnson, age 55, Texas Department of Criminal Justice. End of watch Saturday, July 16, 2016. Corrections Officer Mary Johnson was murdered by a male inmate inside the Robertson unit in Abilene, Texas. Other officers found her unresponsive near the prison's kitchen at approximately 3 a.m. The officer provided medical aid until she was transported to Hendricks Medical Center, where she was pronounced dead. Officer Johnson had served with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 7 years. Police Officer Justin Sherlin, age 39, Amarillo Police Department, end of watch Thursday, August 4th, 2016. Police Officer Justin Sherlin succumbed to injuries sustained 11 months earlier when his patrol car was struck head-on by another vehicle near the intersection of Southwest 34th Avenue and Georgia Street. The collision caused Officer Sherlin to become trapped inside the vehicle for approximately 1 hour as rescue personnel attempted to extricate him. He was transported to a local hospital in critical condition. He subsequently underwent numerous surgeries and continuous rehabilitation following the crash. He subsequently suffered a complication and died while on a family trip in New Mexico on August 4th, 2016. Officer Sherlin had served with the Amarillo Police Department for 11 years and was assigned to the agency's uniform division. He also served with the agency's honor guard and dive team. He is survived by his wife and 4 children. Senior Police Officer Amir Abdul Khalik, age 46, Austin Police Department, end of watch Sunday, September 4th, 2016. Senior Officer Amir Abdul Khalik succumbed to injuries sustained 4 days earlier in a police motorcycle crash. He was providing an escort for a funeral and was attempting to reach the next intersection when a car attempted to turn left through the procession. The car pulled directly into his path, causing him to strike it. He was transported to University Medical Center Brackenridge, where he remained until succumbing to his injuries. Officer Abdul Khalik was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and has served with the Austin Police Department for 17 years. He is survived by his 5 children. Deputy Sheriff Kenneth Hubert Maltby, age 73, Eastland County Sheriff's Office, end of watch Wednesday, September 7th, 2016. Deputy Sheriff Kenneth Maltby was killed in a vehicle crash on Farm Road 570 near County Road 442 south of Eastland. A vehicle traveling in the opposite direction swerved into the opposite travel lane, attempting to avoid another vehicle, but instead struck Deputy Maltby's patrol car head-on. Deputy Maltby suffered fatal injuries and died at the scene. Deputy Maltby had served with the Eastland County Sheriff's Office for 2 years and had 42 years of law enforcement service. Thank you.
Thank you. Sad day.
Sir. Yes, sir.
We'll observe a moment of silence for these officers and their families. Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 3, which is approval of the June 23rd, 2016 quarterly meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any questions, discussion, or additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 4 is receive reports, take action if necessary. Mr. Executive Director.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. In your report, you will find the usual documents, budget status, cash flow report as of July 31st is your attachment A. Your criminal misconduct quarterly report will be your attachment B. Training provider applications we bring to you when we approve them. We have not approved any in the period since the last meeting. However, we do have several under review that we will be bringing to you in the future. We've got in the middle of the inspection process and approval process of various ones there. I wanted to give you an update on an agenda item from last meeting where we had issued a letter of reprimand to Constable Beth Villarreal from Dallas County. We were instructed by you at that time to go back and do further investigation on that case. We assigned an investigator who did a very thorough investigation into what precipitated, a deeper look at what precipitated the reprimand that we had recommended, and further into discussion that she provided at the meeting, the last quarterly meeting. Subsequent to that investigation, we made the decision to withdraw the request for the reprimand, and we have moved to seek suspension of her license. Therefore, we're not in a position to discuss that here today, since y'all will be the final determiners on that. So she has been notified. She has the opportunity to go to a SOA hearing to determine how she wants to go forth in that, and from that point on, we'll know what direction to go with ours. But we did not make that an agenda item this time because it's kind of in a working process right now. TCO conference is coming up. I got to tell you, every time we're on the Thursday and finishing a TCO conference, I'm already looking forward to the next year. We have such a good time and have such good people that come to this conference, and this makes a very, very educational and good time for everybody to come in and learn, and it gives a good communication time with our stakeholders. The 2016 conference, once again at the Omni Hotel in Corpus Christi, is October 3rd through the 6th. The schedule and registration is on the TCO website. We have a specific page just for the conference. As I probably told you before, this year's conference, the hotel was sold out before we ever left the hotel last year. That's how popular it is. We're filling up all the overflow hotels as we speak. Registration started off a little bit slow this year, but I think because of the timing of it, it was right after the start of either a September 1 or October 1 new fiscal year. And boy, once September 1 hit, those started flowing in, and we have jumped up to about 650 so far. Last year, approximately 750 people registered, and we anticipate similar numbers this year. Our vendors, the ballroom is full. We have a full set of vendors and are continuing to fill them up out into the hallway. We have a good line of speakers, some good things that to discuss with our stakeholders, and as always, we invite you to be part of that. Just let us know. We make sure you have a room. We make sure that you're taken care of, and hope that you can make a conference and come spend that time with us. Some staff changes that we have. Donna Manning was Donna Soldner for many years. Donna Manning retired July 31st after 14-plus years with this agency. Donna handled the oversight of statewide licensing testing for us. Honestly, was a model employee. I told her multiple times I wish I could clone her. We're very happy for her that she is now going to spend some quality time with her husband, and they're going to be doing some traveling. We hate to lose her, but we're happy for her. We have some new additions to the staff. Ashton Kane, is she here? Right here. Stand up. You got to stand up. Ashton Kane is a legal assistant in the legal division. She's currently working on her bachelor's degree in criminal justice at Texas State University. She handles our F5 issues and is doing an amazing job of fitting right into the staff. She's just a joy to work around, and we are very glad to have her. Sarah Garrett is a new staff member with the credentialing division. She graduated from Austin Community College with an associate's degree in environmental science. She has worked at the Austin Nature and Science Center as a program instructor, providing educational classes on Central Texas wildlife. Interesting background, the environment and sustainability and conservation. She also worked 2 summers at the Nature Center as a summer counselor for kids, which we appreciate that side of her. She's continued her education by taking online courses through Oregon State University, which is well known for its environmental program. She will graduate with a bachelor's degree in political science, concentrating on environmental policy. She also has fit in very well, just jumped right in and started working. We're proud to have her. Our newest addition is Stan Roper.
That side.
Stan is a new investigator with our enforcement division. He comes to us with 31 years of experience with the Travis County Sheriff's Office as a peace officer and a jailer. Sergeant Roper was most recently the Internal Affairs Sergeant at TCSO and brings a wealth of investigative experience, including working in the Major Crimes Division for that agency. We're very, very pleased. He's really new, hadn't been here very long. I think he's still kind of swimming through being a little overwhelmed, but he's going to be awesome for us. We're glad to have him too. That's all I have for you. Unless you have questions for me, that'll be my report for this meeting.
Questions?
Mr. Chairman? Or I'll defer to somebody else have one. Not just me then. Director, we were talking about the cases, the one that's pending, and it brings me back to the investigator caseload that we have for our agency. We were fortunate enough to get a few positions last session, but you know we've always had this hey, every 5-year audit and different things that's been a struggle for us. But where are we at currently as far as the caseload number for our investigators? And it may be something better for John. I'm not sure.
I think John can speak more accurately to that since he keeps kind of a finger on the pulse of the everyday list of that. So he'll have a report here in a second if I might defer to him.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, then we will move to the Operation Director's Report. Director Hellenberg.
Good morning, Commissioners. Commissioner Hester, to answer your question, we're carrying approximately 100 active cases right now, which is primarily complaints. Very few of those are arrests. If you add the arrest cases that we receive off of the E1s where officers are arrested across the state, those cases are in addition to our complaint cases. And so I do not have the exact caseload. However, we just last week, or actually this week, lost one of our investigators to the Travis County District Attorney's Office. And so that's, as Sergeant Roper just came on board, he was presented with his 100 cases that were transferred to him. So
He's been looking a little shell-shocked, I must tell you.
He still is.
our caseload right now is pretty high, as we currently have an opening for another investigator. But as soon as I get back to the office, I'll give you the caseload numbers on what we have, although they're going to be higher than normal right now because we're running a vacancy. So, in addition to that, those personnel issues in enforcement, we also have an opening created by the retirement in our IT division, so we're currently hiring for that position, and we are still hiring for a credentialing position. So we're one down in credentialing, one down in special services, one down in enforcement, and then we'll start the hiring process on a few more field agent positions, which we were appropriated through legislature. In addition to all of those staff issues, we also have gone through a massive reorganization at the office, trying to use the areas that we have smarter and make them more functional for everybody. So if you haven't been by the office, please come by. There's been some massive renovations happening over the last week. We didn't tear down or build any walls, but we did move a lot of file cabinets and other stuff. So we're trying to get the scanning process down. This agency has for years wanted to hold on to hard paper copies of stuff, and so we're slowly moving into the electronic age and scanning some stuff and getting rid of some of the old traditional file cabinets. So if you need a file cabinet, there'll be about 40 going to surplus. Barring any questions, that's all I have, sir.
Questions? Then thank you, and we'll move to the Government Relations Director report. Ms. Grigsby.
Good morning, Commissioners. First, I'd like to recognize that in addition to Representative Rainey, Seth Christensen from the Governor's Office and Hannah Bell from Representative Molly White's office are also here. If they could wave their hands. We had our legislative appropriations request submitted August 5th and look forward to our budget hearing with the Governor's Office and the LBB on September 26th. So the session hasn't started yet, but the preparation most certainly has. Before our next commission meeting, the pre-filing of bills will begin as well in early November, so that's something that we're certainly looking forward to, and it's about to get real busy around here. Unless you have any other questions, that's all I have for now.
Questions? Okay, motion and second then to accept staff reports.
Yes. No. Yes, sir.
Have a motion and a second.
Second. Got it.
Okay. The motion is to accept the staff reports. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 5, which is discussion of and take action on proceedings for revocation, suspension, and other disciplinary actions. In case you haven't noticed, this is not Mr. Beecham beside me this morning. Mr. Winter.
Good morning, Commissioners. You have 4 contested disciplinary matters on your agenda this morning, and we'll take them one at a time with your permission. The first is Gabriela Chapa. She was employed as a jailer by the Uvalde Sheriff's Department, and subsequent to issuance of her jailer license, we discovered information the Executive Director did that led us to conclude that she was not qualified to receive that license to begin with. We instituted cancellation proceedings. She requested a contested case hearing. The Executive Director moved for summary judgment, and the Administrative Law Judge has issued a proposal for decision recommending that our summary judgment be granted and that the license be canceled. So the matter before you is a PFD recommending that the cancellation be entered in the matter of Gabriela Chapa.
Thank you. Commissioner Hollingsworth.
I move to accept the ALJ's recommendation to cancel the jailer license of Gabriela Chapa.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Winter.
Commissioners, Robert Mitchell was employed as a peace officer by Jim Wells County Constable's Office, Precinct 3. Mr. Mitchell received a deferred adjudication for the offense of Class A assault bodily injury married. The Executive Director moved to suspend his license. He requested a contested case hearing. The administrative law judge has returned a proposal for decision recommending that Mr. Mitchell's license be suspended for 10 years, which is what the executive director requested. And the executive director asks that you approve the PFD and enter the order of 10-year suspension.
I move to accept the ALJ's recommendation to suspend the license of the peace officer's license of Robert L. Mitchell for a period of 10 years.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Winter.
Commissioners, the next item concerns Artez J. Moore, who is employed as a peace officer with Harris County Constable's Office Precinct 1. Mr. Moore received a Class B misdemeanor deferred adjudication for impersonating a peace officer and misrepresenting property. The executive director brought an action to suspend his license for a period of 10 years. He likewise requested a contested case hearing, and after the hearing, the administrative law judge has issued a PFD recommending a 10-year suspension. Executive director asks that you approve that PFD and enter the order.
I move to adopt the ALJ's recommendation to suspend the jailer and peace officer license of, I'm sorry, that's not a jailer and, just peace officer license, of Artez J. Moore for a period of 10 years.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Winter.
Commissioners, the last contested matter concerns Bradley L. Turner, who is employed as a peace officer by Trinity County Sheriff's Office. Subsequent to the issue of Mr. Turner's peace officer license, the executive director discovered information that Mr. Turner had received a deferred adjudication for a Class A misdemeanor burglary of a vehicle, making him ineligible to having received that peace officer license to begin with. Executive director instituted cancellation proceedings, and Mr. Turner did request a contested case hearing. The administrative law judge granted the executive director's motion for summary judgment and has issued a PFD recommending cancellation, which is the result that the executive director asked that you approve the PFD. Mr. Turner is, I believe, here today, and I think he now has counsel. He did not have counsel at the time of these proceedings, but my understanding is that he is here today with representation.
Okay, Mr. Turner, are you here? Okay, would you like to come up to the microphone right here and address, do you have counsel with you? Okay, come on up. Do you have anyone with you?
Sir?
Do you have anyone with you?
Just a friend with me.
Okay, all right, I got 2 cards here, so,
Oh, okay.
all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I just want to say when I was 17, I did make a mistake of the Class A. At the time, then I didn't know the difference of a Class A, Class B, Class C, until I got into the police academy. Did I know what the different classifications were? Never would have applied if I would have known, hey, this is what I had and I couldn't go through. So not knowing, I proceeded to go through. Background time came and they said that first I was denied because of my background, but then said they needed more documentation. I got the documentation, and then I was cleared, and they said I could go through. And that was Ms. Nazareth with TCOL. She researched that and said I was cleared to go. So I went, 10-month course that night. I paid for myself to go to chase a dream that I wanted to be a police officer. I go through, I was a valedictorian in my class. I'm about to find a job, and then come back and say, wait a minute, we made a mistake. We shouldn't have let you go through. And 2.5 years later, here we are. So I just ask that you maybe reconsider the cancellation and, you know, something that happened 19 years ago stopped me from a dream.
Okay, I'm just going to suggest to you that if you have a chief administrator of an agency who is willing to take a chance on you, that he may come in and ask for a waiver. And so that's the only action that's available. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I move to accept the ALJ's recommendation to cancel the peace officer's license of Bradley L. Turner.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Just to clarify that, we do have a precedent in the past where there's a waiver process, and
Yes.
if there's a sponsoring agency that's only limited to that agency, just, there is a process in place there, so.
Okay.
Mr. Turner, I absolutely appreciate your position, but the law is what it is, and your only recourse would be that. But if you talk to your chief administrator and your chief administrator is willing to make that move for you, I make myself available to you. Get in touch with me, have him get in touch with me, and we'll make sure he understands the process that would allow you to move forward in that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Winter.
Commissioners, the remaining matters on your agenda, disciplinary actions are for your information only. There are a number of statutory revocations listed. These are individuals who held peace officer and jailer licenses and received convictions for felony offenses. And as a matter by operation of law, their licenses are statutorily revoked. No action is required on your part. Also listed are statutory suspensions. These are individuals who received deferred adjudication for felony offenses, and again, by operation of law, their licenses are suspended. Finally, on your agenda, you have permanent surrenders of peace officer licenses, and there are a number of individuals listed there. The executive director has accepted those permanent surrenders, and again, no action is required.
Okay, thank you. Move to agenda item number 6, which is receive public comment on any topic without action. And Mr. Ray Hunt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I'm here today to tell you about 2 events that I hope that you will put on your calendars, not just for you, but for the audience as well. Several months ago, the Houston Police Department, the Houston Police Officers Union started the Pray for Police campaign with the blue bracelets. We are on October the 19th encouraging police departments across the state of Texas to do a Let's Pray Texas on your steps of your police department or on your steps of your city hall at 1 p.m. Central Time on October the 19th. We'll be doing it in Houston, and we know that several of the other groups are going to be doing it as well at their agencies, so we'd encourage you to participate in that. Brief five-minute prayer where you can have clergy there or your police or whoever you choose to, praying for the police and for the state of Texas. We also would like to let you know that in the past, during the odd-numbered years, the Combined Law Enforcement Association of Texas, CLEAT, has done the Police Officer Memorial in Austin. And this past year, TMPA did it for the even-numbered years. I'm proud to say that both of these 2 groups, TMPA and CLEAT, have joined together, and they, only on this issue, have joined together to support cops, concerns of police survivors, and the Police Officer Memorial for 2017. The candlelight vigil will be on Sunday, April the 30th, and the Police Officer Memorial service at the steps of the Capitol will be on Monday, May the 1st. I know that the planning session has already taken place. I attended there, and they will have a special place up on stage for all the commissioners this time. We had several of you attended the last one, but we please ask you to put that on your calendar for April the 30th and for May 1st. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray. I appreciate it. Is there anybody else that wishes to address the commission? If not, we're going to go into executive session. For those of you who love to just hang around in the hallway, I'll say you're welcome to, but I don't anticipate any action being taken after the executive session, except that we'll come back into session and adjourn. So thank you all so much for being here today. I know it was a short agenda, and some of you came from a long ways, but thank you for your attendance, and we'll be going into executive session in 10 minutes. Thank you.